Remember, like, way back when, the internet, I mean, before smartphones were, like, everywhere.
Ah, the good old days.
You'd be huddled around your, like, massive desktop computer. Maybe you even had one of those new digital cameras.
Those were exciting times.
Yeah, and you'd snag a picture, probably blurry, knowing those early cameras.
Absolutely.
And if you wanted to share it, say on a forum or something.
Which were huge back then.
You had to upload it to, like, a special website just to share it.
I remember those days.
Wild, right. Well, today we're diving deep into that world.
Yeah.
We're talking about Photobucket.
Photobucket. Oh, yeah.
It's a classic internet story, right? Rise to fame, a stumble, attempts at a comeback.
It really is a fascinating case study.
The whole shebang. And our source for this deep dive, Wikipedia. Good old reliable Wikipedia.
The Internet's encyclopedia.
Okay, so picture it. 2003. Two guys, Alex Welsh and Darren Crystal, they're like, let's make this Photobucket thing happen.
And the rest is history.
They get some funding, get the ball rolling.
Right.
And fast forward to 2007, Fox Interactive Media, they swoop in and buy the company.
That's a big deal to get bought out like that.
Huge. But get this, Photobucket at this point was massive. I'm talking 10 billion images hosted on their site.
10 billion? Wow.
Billion, with a B. And over 100 million registered users.
That's not just a website, that's a phenomenon.
Exactly. They were the place for image sharing. Forums, eBay, you name it, Photobucket was there.
It's incredible how they tapped into such a need at the right time.
Right. But what's really interesting is how perfectly Photobucket fit into the internet landscape back then.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Think about it. Internet speeds were crawling compared to today.
Oh, yeah.
And
storage space on computers. Precious. People were desperate for a way to share images without clogging up their hard drives.
makes sense.
Forums were booming, and Photobucket provided the perfect solution. Easy storage, easy sharing.
It's like they were in the right place at the right time.
Exactly. And you know what? It's even on Wikipedia's Internet History timeline.
No way. Alongside like Amazon and Google.
Right there with them. It really highlights how impactful they were.
But here's where things get like really interesting, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's June 2017. You're like settling in to browse your favorite forum. You know, the one with all the cool pictures and discussions.
I can picture.
You load it up and something's off.
Uh-oh.
All those images, the avatars, the threads, they're just gone. Or like there's just blank spaces where they should be. Broken links.
Oh. Total chaos.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to Photobucket users. They woke up to this internet nightmare.
Talk about a rude awakening.
Right. And the reason Photobucket decided to like completely change their game plan.
What did it do?
No more free third-party image hosting.
Wait, what does that mean exactly?
So if you wanted to share your Photobucket pics on other sites, like forums or blogs, you had to start paying.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not talking like a few bucks a month. We're talking almost $400 per year.
Whoa. That's a steep price hike. No wonder people were upset.
Upset is an understatement. The backlash was huge, and understandably so.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I mean, it makes sense when you put it that way.
Photobucket was everywhere online. People have been using it for years, building their online presences, their communities, their businesses even, all relying on this free service.
Yeah, it was totally woven into how people use the internet.
Exactly. So overnight, it wasn't just an inconvenience, it was like disruptive.
It really throws a wrench in things when something you rely on suddenly changes the rules.
And for a lot of people, it felt like a betrayal, you know, like a bait and switch. The Better Business Bureau actually gave Photobucket an F rating that year.
Ouch. An F. That's rough.
Yeah, tons of complaints, people saying Photobucket wasn't responding to their concerns. It was a mess.
So what did Photobucket do? Did they just ignore all this?
Well, they did try to, do some damage control. In 2018, they introduced some new plans, including a cheaper option that was like $25 a year and allowed for third-party hosting again.
So they were at least listening to the feedback a little.
I guess so, but...
It was a start, but was it enough? The internet, you see, doesn't sit still.
True that. Always changing.
Remember those slow internet speeds we talked about? Those storage limitations?
Yeah, a distant memory now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
By 2018, things were different. Cloud storage was becoming more and more affordable. People had more options.
Right. The competition was heating up.
And faster internet speeds meant sharing images wasn't the hassle it used to be. Photobuckets, well, their advantage, it wasn't so unique anymore.
So they weren't the only game in town anymore. Did they manage to adapt?
Well, in 2019, they tried. introduced some new plans, 2 gigs of storage for around $30 a year, 20 gigs for 70, both with third-party hosting included.
Okay, so they were trying to be more competitive on price.
They had to. But they also made some changes to the free accounts. Remember those bandwidth limits we talked about?
Yeah, they didn't make a lot of friends with those.
They slapped a 25 megabyte per month limit on free accounts.
So basically back to those tiny images unless you paid up.
Pretty much. Images got watermarked or blurred if you went over the limit. But here's the thing. The internet, it had moved on.
I feel like I'm hearing a theme here.
By 2019, Photobucket was ranked somewhere around 1500th on Alexa, the website ranking site.
Not even close to the top anymore.
It wasn't just a dip, it was a sign. Photobucket, the internet giant, it was a shadow of its former self.
Makes you wonder, can a site ever really recapture that kind of magic once it's gone?
It's a tough question. The internet, it's fickle. What's hot today is, well, forgotten tomorrow.
So what's the takeaway for our listeners today?
Maybe it's a reminder that the digital world, it's always in flux. What seems like an indispensable tool one day, it can fade surprisingly fast.
Photobucket, it's a fascinating story, a cautionary tale almost. It reminds us that the internet, for all its permanence, is built on shifting sands.
It makes you wonder what other online giants are out there. Once titans of their domain, now just echoes of their former glory. What happened to them? And what can we learn from their stories?
It's a question worth pondering, and on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into the world of Photobucket. It's a story of innovation, disruption, and the ever-changing nature of the internet.
And it makes you think, doesn't it, about the digital footprints we're all leaving behind.
Until next time, keep exploring those digital mysteries, and who knows what forgotten corners of the internet we'll uncover together.